Coming to you live from New York City, it's Jim Caruso's Pajama Cast Party. And now, here's your host, Jim Caruso.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you come in. It's me, your old pal, Jim Caruso. So happy that you're joining us tonight. It's February. We're well into it. We have a great show for you tonight. Is it snowing again? I think it's supposed to snow again here in New York. Okay. Nobody cares about the weather. This show tonight is so first rate. You're going to have such a good time. Avery Sommers, Zachary James, Gianmarco Soresi, Lauren Kinhan. What? These people will entertain your little cotton socks right off your feet. I'm so excited. This is also our 45th show in a row. We are exhausted, people. Exhausted. As much to discuss. By the way, the 45th anniversary gift is Sapphire, in case you're shopping. I have had a lovely week doing things. You know, restaurants are starting to open here in New York City again. They opened for a minute in December for 25% of the audience, of the people. And so this is very hard to stay open at 25% of the customers that you normally have. However, we're finding more and more places that are open and serving, and it's nice to eat inside sometimes. And my friend Billy Stritch had a birthday this last week, and we went out and had dinner. And he and I have known each other since, well, for like almost 40 years, which is horrifying. And we took a picture, and it looks like this. This is us in, geez, that's us in, what year is that? 1988. And then that's us the other night. Good night, nurse. That's what gravity will do to you. It's horrifying. Whose idea was that? Anyway, we had a great time. Billy and his partner Doug and Julie Halston and me had a dinner inside. We were, by the way, socially distanced because I don't know where they've been. So I like to keep people at a distance. That's what I like to do. But it was fantastic to eat inside in a restaurant, and it was a terrific night. Anyway, I need to talk just for many minutes, truly, about our extraordinary merch. Now, this merch is available on the Pajama Cast Party page. It's pajamacastparty.com. We have some very high-end crap on that page. We have, well, I have some pictures. Here is our friend Deborah Silver, literally, she has a farm, and those are actual eggs, actually out of an actual chicken. And she is gathering the eggs and putting them in to the Pajama Cast Party tote. So if you have chickens, know that works. If you just carry books, if you carry music, if you carry whatever you carry, the Cast Party tote, high quality. We also have a hilarious picture of Tony-winning Lisa Lambert wearing the Cast Party mask, the Cast Party hoodie, and she is standing in front of her shower that has the Cast Party shower curtain. You're welcome, America. Thank you. I think this is the perfect time to bring our trusty producer, Ruby Lochner, to the screen. Oh, Ruby.
Oh, Jim.
What up?
What up? Happy Monday, everybody.
It's Monday. It's my favorite day of the week.
It's a great, you know what? It's a good day. I used to be a fan of Mondays, but now I'm a true fan of Mondays because I have this.
I know. It's all we have. It's all I have.
When you
ladies and
put it
gentlemen.
like that.
Yeah. Now,
And also,
Ruby.
wait. I would like to say, Jim, I'm sorry. Every week you say we have the most amazing high quality crap. And then you mentioned our gift shop items. I would just like to say it's not crap. It's actually a great way to support your local entertainers and your local artists and small businesses. So please go purchase some very fine, nice, not crappy merchandise from pajamacastparty.com. There we go.
I had a mug made so that the logo was on the right side for the camera because I was constantly doing this and I knew the Coca-Cola was going to go flying.
Right.
So, I go all out for you people. This is high end. This is high end crap. Let's say it.
It's not crap. Okay.
Okay, Ruby.
Yes.
Now, people, Ruby is younger than I by about 700 years. I've known Ruby since she was 6 years old when she would come to sing at Cast Party with her mom, the brilliant songwriter Victoria Shaw. So that's when we met. And Ruby was almost always younger than I. She's still, even though she's an adult, she's still younger. But she knows things. The younger people, the kids these days, know things. She suggested that I look at Clubhouse. Are you all on Clubhouse yet? Ruby, explain Clubhouse.
Yes. Okay. So I feel like we're very close. I'm going to move. Oh, hang on. Going to move it back out again. I just completely blurred my face. So Clubhouse is a new app that I've been literally screaming at Jim and Julie Halston because I believe that this is going to be the app of 2021. I'm very on top of trends. I like to think I'm somewhat techie. I say that as I just turned off my camera accidentally. Clubhouse is an audio-based networking site. So it's basically, if you love podcasts, I love podcasts. I listen to them when I'm commuting, when I'm taking a shower, when I'm getting ready in the morning. If you like listening to podcasts, Clubhouse is the app for you because you can listen into a ton of different conversations and rooms that people are hosting about anything. I've listened to discussions on building a beauty empire. The founder of Dry Bar, which is one of my favorite hair care companies, was giving a discussion. I've listened to rooms about how to market yourself as an actor in this pandemic world. It's really amazing, but it's still kind of exclusive. It's an invite-only app. It's still in beta. So if you can become a member, now is a really, really great time to do so.
What does that mean? It's still in beta?
It means that they're still testing the app out. It's only available to iPhone users right now because obviously
okay.
They're still developing it. And, they're still kind of changing the rules around. They're really trying to figure out how exactly they want the app to run. So I became a member about 3 weeks ago. I've been obsessed. I've been listening in on discussions for probably 3 hours every single day. And I told Jim, you have to get on Clubhouse. I'm sure you can. And he told me that he was, which I was very impressed. And then I got a notification that Julie Halston followed me on Clubhouse, and I was very impressed.
Yeah. So we're going to do a show. Not a show. It's not a show. We're going to have a chat tomorrow.
We're going to host a room on Clubhouse. So if any of you are members, we're going to host a little showbiz, Broadway, meet and greet, entertainment room for just an hour. We're going to test the waters, but we figured, you've seen enough of us on YouTube, so let's just take over another platform.
You guys that are like my age, it's like a party line. Do you remember party lines when you would pick up your phone and there would be somebody else talking on it? They weren't in your house. They were like the neighbors, but I don't really know why that was, but you shared a line with another family. It was very creepy.
It's very cool though, because it's all these CEOs and major wave makers and these incredible.
And Bethany Frankel from Real Housewives is in every single room. Does she not have a career, a job, something? She's in it to win it, as the kids say. The kids in 1984.
So go listen to our Clubhouse room tomorrow if you're a member. My username is just at Ruby Lochner, and Jim is just at Jim Caruso. So if you friend
I'm not. It's at Jim Caruso 100.
Sorry about that, Jim Caruso 100.
Yeah.
And if you follow us, you'll be notified whenever we host new rooms. If we start doing this every week, who knows? It's like a bonus. I don't know.
Yeah. And the thing is, you're not supposed to promote your show, so it doesn't get promotional. It's really conversational. So that's nice. It won't be all about me talking about why you should watch Pajama Cast Party.
Yeah.
I'll have nothing else to say, but we'll pretend I do. Why do we do this? Why do we do this show? We do it to entertain you, the viewing public, and to entertain ourselves, certainly, during this bizarre time. But we also do it so that we ask for donations. And with those donations, first of all, we pay for this platform. I look around because I don't know why. But the platform costs something. But what we love to do is to give money every week to a wonderful organization. This week, we're going to give money to Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. As I say many, many times, these people are angels. They give, they help when families are struggling financially. They help with paying for doctors' visits and for people with debilitating illnesses of all kinds. They help for temporary housing for artists and for people involved in the performing community. It's an incredible organization. So tonight, a very good percentage of whatever you send us is going to Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. And you guys have been so wildly generous in these past 45 weeks, so that we get to send them a nice little present every week, which just makes my day. And so that's where the money goes. And you have our Venmo and PayPal. Business up. So easy.
Yes. Now, Jim, before I go, typically we have the amazing Justin Squiggs Robertson who does drawing for us every week. And this is not the only thing he does. He volunteers his time because he's an amazing human being. But when I heard he wasn't going to be a part of the show tonight, I felt, Jim, I know you always look forward to his version of your face and your chin. So I am not a Squiggs.
Oh.
But I put something together before the show. I didn't have time. I couldn't do a, look over the shoulder camera thing, but I just wanted to show you what I came up with.
Okay.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Every artist titles their masterpieces.
Yeah.
So mine is called Jim by Ruby.
Oh, that is so right on. Yeah, I look good. No eyebrows. Okay,
yeah,
I like it.
And I thought it was minimalistic.
It is. It's very clean.
So that's
Squiggs always gives me eyebrows that look like lip sync.
I know, but I can't copy him. I can't copy him, so I figured I would just do an arts portion of the show tonight and try and do that.
I love it. Thank you, Ruby. I'll have that. I'll call the framer.
You're welcome.
Let's do this.
Okay.
I'm ready to go. That's what I'm thinking. Are you ready? My first guest is just a powerhouse performer who is much beloved here in New York City and on Broadway and in her current home in South Florida. Would you please welcome one of my all-time favorite cast party performers, Avery Sommers.
Yay!
There she is.
How are you, my darling?
How are you?
I am very well. Very well. Thank you.
What's going on down there in Florida?
Well, a lot's going on. First of all, I hate to brag, but we have great weather.
You do? Nobody talks about the weather in Florida, really.
Nobody talks about the weather anywhere, but we're having great weather here. But
is it beautiful?
It really is. Today was absolutely gorgeous. We had 82 degrees. Sorry. Not sorry. I'm working. I'm thrilled to be home. This is my home, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Is that where you're from? Because that's something I know your career very well, but I don't know much about you.
Well, I was born in Jamaica.
Didn't
So
know.
I was raised here in South Florida. Yeah. So I lived in Los Angeles for quite a while and in New York for quite a while, but I'm a Jamaican girl.
Nice. I didn't know. Was music always a part of your life growing up in
Oh,
Jamaica?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes. Now, I must admit that I came here when I was about 3 or 4 years old. So I did not grow up there. I grew up here in South Florida. But music was a huge thing. My mother loved gospel music. My dad loved the big band sound, with all of the horns and the instruments and all of that kind of stuff. So yes, music, 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 music all the time.
Well, they must have been thrilled when you appeared on Broadway in Ain't Misbehavin'.
Yes.
Some of the greatest music, some of the greatest arrangements. Oh my gosh, that was the sleekest little production. I didn't see your production because I didn't live here then, but I have seen that show and certainly tapes of that production. And did you replace Nell Carter?
I did. I did indeed. I replaced Nell Carter, and I tell you, when I got the call to go to the audition, I had never heard of the show. I was new to New York, and as I like to say, I was green and buttoned up to here and down to there. So I knew nothing about the show at all. And I went in and I sang what I would always sing, just some big voice number. And when the agent called me and said, "You've got the show," I said, "Okay, what show?" So,
Okay. See you there.
green.
Well, now you were replacing Nell Carter, who was this larger than life persona, a very specific voice. I mean,
Yes.
nobody sounded like Nell. Nobody was Nell. How do you go? Did they want you to kind of copy her in any way, or did they give you leeway to create your own character?
No, they gave me leeway to create my own character. They said, "See the show once. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
Don't see it
Because
more than
she
that."
was so inimitable, it would be easy to go into her shtick, I would think.
Well, I couldn't, quite honestly, I must say, because at the time, and Nell was not a big girl then. She was not. She became larger than life in many ways, but I was much smaller. So the things that she did, like her leg lifts and jumping up and down, and all, I couldn't do it. It didn't fit and work for me, So
Right.
they gave me permission, carte blanche, to really create on my own. And with Ken Page, I mean, who could go wrong?
I mean, did we show the picture, Ruby? We have this gorgeous picture. I mean, really, what? Who is that cute?
That who is that girl? My gosh.
I
Yeah.
mean, were you a kid? How old were you when you were starring on Broadway?
Pretty young, actually. I think I must have been maybe 19, maybe 19. Yeah.
That's
I
fantastic.
was frightened of New York. I came from South Florida, but I went to Los Angeles where my sister was. And so I was wrapped in a bubble, of family. And then things happened. I came east to New York, and boy, just I was in hog heaven, so to speak. I mean, just everything was wonderful and huge.
Okay, I have to know about this. You toured with a fabulous show called Best Little Whorehouse in Texas,
Yeah.
starring Anne Margaret.
Absolutely.
That now, if you were a kid when you went into that, you were an adult when you came out, because that must have been some high times.
Well, it was wonderful. I'll tell you, Anne Margaret was just a joy to work with, but she was a prankster. She loved pranking and joking. So, everybody had to be aware, because she would always just make it to the stage just in time to go on. And you'd hear these clip, clip, clop, clip, clop across the stage, and everybody knew Anne Margaret's on her way, And she was frightened of most people. And I'll say this out loud. She only liked when I stood in the wings and she could see me. Isn't that lovely?
Oh,
Nice.
that's really nice.
Yes,
That's
yes.
really nice. Well, you got to sing one of the greatest songs, really, one of the best songs ever written for the musical theater. 24 Hours 11.
Oh, I know.
I
Oh my,
mean, License to Kill.
License to Kill, absolutely. But let me tell you, everybody in that show, Jim, they talk about putting your best foot forward. Oh my gosh, everyone in that show. And we have a page on Facebook, and we've kept in touch, which is really wonderful.
I
Yeah,
love that. I
I
love
know,
that.
I know,
I
I
think
know.
that show is we're ready for a comeback of that show.
It would be nice. I
It's
think
been
it's
too long. Yeah.
to see this show. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so great. The score is just top notch. Were you doing clubs back then too?
No, not so much. I just did the tours and things like that. But when I came back to New York after doing Showboat and Chicago and those things, I
Yeah.
decided I needed to come home to South Florida for a while. A few family issues and things like that. And when I came home, I said, well, all right, what am I going to do now? Because you know that old saying, you can never go home. But I figured out that I really
And yet you
could.
did.
And you
Yeah.
know, I did.
Yeah.
And I've been working with an amazing musical director who's right over my shoulder here. His name is Phil Hinton, and he's
Hi,
pretty.
Phil.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Now, was Phil involved in your Bessie Smith concert?
No, Phil came to see my show, but
Oh,
no, not a wonderful young man that he trained. Actually, Elijah was my musical director, and he was pretty brilliant. So really glad that I got the opportunity to meet him, because now, you know, if something ever goes awry and Phil is not around and Elijah is, I'm covered.
perfect. Perfect. I want you to sing and I want Phil to play and I want you to entertain us.
All right, I can do that.
I know you can. Sing for us.
All right, here we go. Maybe this time I'll be lucky. Maybe this time he'll stay. This time, for the first time, love won't hurry away. He will hold me fast. I'll be home at last. Not a loser anymore, like the last time and the time before. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loves me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. All the odds are in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's gonna happen sometime. Maybe this time I'll win. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loves me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. All the odds are in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's
Yes, Avery. Do you hear them? Do you hear the applause from all over the place? Avery, you sound great. Phil, you sound beautiful. Thank you so much, both of you,
There he is.
for coming and hanging with us. Look, people are going crazy. They're loving it. They're loving it. Well, a lot of performers are saying yay.
Yeah.
Avery, it's so good to see you. I can't wait to see you live and in person, either when we bring Cast Party back down to Florida or you come up to New York, whatever.
It was wonderful. It was always so great when you came here with Billy.
Oh.
Always great.
He's watching. He's watching right now. We have the best time down there.
Yes.
God, we've done it. You've sat in with us in Palm Beach and Delray Beach.
Yes.
Both those great places. So much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we love you. Thank you so much
you.
for joining us and entertaining us so royally.
Thank you so much. This is wonderful. God bless you and continued blessings to you and Casper.
Thank you, my friend. We'll see you very soon.
All right.
Avery Sommers. Just love her. God, I'd love to go back in time and see her do Ain't Misbehavin'. Man. Okay. Don't forget, PayPal, Venmo, if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Helps us pay for the platform, and then we give a nice percentage every week to Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. Don't forget. Okay, talk about a colorful career. Zach James is a breakout opera star. He starred as Lurch in The Addams Family on Broadway and is the only performer, get this, to ever bring shadow puppets to a show at Birdland. Please welcome Zachary James.
Shadow puppets. I forgot.
You didn't think I would not bring that up, did you?
It was a while ago now.
I know.
Okay,
But I remember.
Yeah. Touche. Yeah.
You did 2 great shows at Birdland.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was always a treat. And
look.
there I am. Hey.
Look at that packed house.
It was sold out. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sold out.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm so happy to see you. You're in the New York area, right? You're around here.
I'm around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to give his address because
We're all everywhere,
the
aren't we?
fans go crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks to your just huge, big bass voice, you've had great success in the opera world. So many accolades. Oh my God. Most innovative opera singer, breakout opera artist, official ambassador for Opera America. What?
Yeah.
This is
I don't
so
know.
huge.
Yeah. Thanks. It's all weird and unexpected. It's all actually because of the Addams Family. So
Is that
yeah.
truly real?
Yeah, yeah. So the same director of the Addams Family, Phelan McDermott, directs all Philip Glass's new operas, and he asked me to audition for Philip, and then I became an opera singer. So yeah,
That I did not know.
it's weird.
I found this gorgeous picture of you at the Met. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's my wedding photo. Yeah. With the Met.
I
We
got
matched.
it. That's funny.
Okay.
Oh, I have many wedding photos of myself all
Liza.
over the place. Okay. So your first, from what I hear, I don't know what that meant. Your biggest influence was my favorite opera singer, Nathan Lane.
Yeah, yeah. You're pulling them all out tonight. Yeah, yeah. he was major. I was watching. So long story short, I went to school to be a high school band director. It was a terrible decision, but I was home on first semester break watching the Kennedy Center honors, and Nathan Lane was honoring Angela Lansbury, and I just sat on the couch weeping. And I turned to my dad and I was like, I'm gonna be a theater major now. And that was it.
Wow.
Yeah,
And so Broadway was kind of your first love.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you made the swerve into classical music.
Yeah, hard swerve. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because a lot of people think I'm this opera singer and I'm actually like faking the funk over here in opera. So Yeah, just pretending.
But you can't really can you really pretend to be an opera singer? I mean, have
No,
you gone
but,
on
you know.
to study more recently to kind of get more into the scene, or?
Yeah, but a lot of these kids, they did like 10 years in conservatory and got their doctorates and know everything about French diction. And like every time I'm doing, a show, it's like, oh, now I'm going to learn this language that I've never studied before, So it's, in that way, I
great.
literally always think of this, that one of my favorite jazz dance teachers said. She was like, fake the funk. You're not going to be a great dancer. Get in the front of the line, smile, and put on a show. And I was like, yeah. That's,
I mean, honestly, if we could have that printed on a bumper sticker,
Yeah.
that's the story of my life. Not really good at anything, but
that's not
a
true.
lot of energy.
You're a star. Cabaret star, MC of the world. Yeah.
I think we can all see where that got me. In the corner of my bedroom. Your dad was a jazz guitarist.
Yeah.
Was there always a lot of music around the house?
I think he's going to lose his mind that you just said something. He's watching in Florida.
What's his name?
Fred.
Fred?
Yeah, so that picture you showed me at Birdland, he played that show.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, he's jazz and blues guitarist, toured the country in a blues band in the 70s. Lots of stories. Yeah.
One thing I did not know was that you were on the reboot of Murphy Brown playing Secret Service to Mike Pence. What?
Yeah. And it was, so Murphy Brown, I was a weird kid, and that was my very favorite show as a child.
Wow.
And, it was rebooted, and it wasn't very successful as a reboot, but I ended up being on the very last episode of that show ever. And that was kind of very trippy as a childhood fan to be with that cast and do that show.
Was Mike Pence actually on?
No, there was a Mike Pence double who actually has a Mike Pence routine that he's been doing for years called Mike Hot Pants, where he goes out in public as Mike Pence without wearing pants. It's big hit. Anyway, so we got to. His name's Glenn.
Of course it is
on Instagram. Mike Hot Pence. Yeah. And so we got to do this show together, and it was kind of amazing because like two gay men playing Mike Pence and his Secret Service agent on Murphy Brown.
So many things to say.
Yes.
So many thoughts.
And there was a bathroom scene, by the way, on the show. Yeah, there was like a bathroom stall scene. It was a lot. So.
Is this on the YouTube? Because
it's everywhere.
I think we all need to look for that. Okay, now explain your fascination with shadow puppets.
Listen, that's the work of Kaylee Clemens. So Kaylee was one of the puppeteers on the Addams Family, and you click with other people who are as weird as you, and I was like, I'm doing this show at Birdland, maybe you should do puppets. It just happened. It was a different era.
It was actually not that long ago.
Yeah,
it's not like it was in the roaring 20s. But it was that show. Well, both of your shows at Birdland were so good and so unique, and not like anybody else's show. And I've sat through a lot of shows. I've produced 1,000, I don't know, shows at Birdland. I don't know, over 18 years. Yeah. You are the only one who had shadow puppets, and I say that with great admiration because it was so unique. Of course, you have this glorious voice, but you really brought a lot to the stage. A lot of really interesting, unique, fun stuff.
Thanks. It was so much fun, and it was a weird show. It was like in French, German, Italian, English, Russian, all the languages, and I had the this like classical music orchestrated for accordion and guitar, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool, and just
so fun.
Thanks for saying yes, because not a lot of people would.
Oh no, come on. What are you going to sing for us tonight?
All right, so this is one of my favorite. So I use this for my 16 bars all the time in New York. It's a little song called 16 Tons. You might know it. And Tennessee Ernie Ford, etc. Big hit, but one of my very faves to sing. And I actually sang it at Cast Party previously, so social faux pas, but this is Pajama Cast Party.
That's right. Do it.
All right. Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt, saying, Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I hold my soul to the company store. I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel, I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons, a number 9 coal, and the straw boss said, well, bless my soul, you load 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt, saying, Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I hold my soul to the company store. If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't, a lot of men died. I got a one fist of iron, the other of steel. If the right don't get you, then the left one will. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt, saying, Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I want my soul to the company store. Your face.
That. Well, that's how I would do it. I would just kind of belch the last note. Your voice is so stupidly crazy, and you have such a good range, and it's just a big man voice.
Thank you.
Because you're a big man. I guess that's why.
I'm 6'6". I'm a large.
Yes, you are 6'6", and what do you get? You sound gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
And,
I think that's the first time I've sung in 2021, so I was a little nervous.
It is?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, God.
But I'm back. I'm back.
I'm back. I'm back, baby. I sang 16 tons
That's right.
at Cast Party. Thank you for doing this, and keep singing, for God's sake. Everybody loves you, and you're such a hit everywhere you go. And
thank you.
I appreciate
doing
it.
your thing too. It's amazing that you're doing this, and it's just great to see you.
It's so fun. It's really fun.
Yeah. Totally.
Thank you, my friend.
I'll be seeing you soon.
I hope so.
All right.
Thanks, Zachary. That's
Bye.
Zachary James. 6'6". I feel like we have some things to discuss. Ruby, was there anything? Oh, I know. You know, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a thing that says subscribe. Is it down there? Or is it up there? Or is it over there?
Down there. It's down,
it's down
as you
there.
like to do.
I know, I like to do that. Here's the thing with subscribing. The more numbers we get, the fancier the people, because literally people look at the numbers. It's really creepy when I invite them. Although, you guys, we're getting some awesome guests. I'm very excited about all the guests, certainly.
Should we give a little teaser? Can we do that?
Sure, we can do whatever we want. What, the network's going to throw us off?
Yeah, we will. No, just kidding.
Yeah. I booked, and I don't know if I should say it. Okay.
Maybe just one, just a little teaser.
Andrea Martin. There you go. She's gonna.
And speaking of teasers, wait, should we say who's going to be on Virtual Halston later this month?
Totally. Okay, not this coming week. This coming week on our friend Julie Halston's show, Virtual Halston, that Ruby and I produce. Do you like I'm doing that like she's here? This coming week, our guests are Megan Hilty and Brian Gallagher. Next week, We're not doing the show on Friday like we normally do. We do it on Wednesday. Our guest, Nathan Lane. That's right.
Everyone's favorite opera singer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Zachary, you'll have to watch. Maybe we'll talk about Nathan's classical songs.
But you will want to subscribe to circle it back to
what we're
talking about.
So be sure and subscribe, as the kids say.
Subscribe because you'll get notified when we generate the new weekly link for Pajama Cast Party. That way you can save it. We have lots of exciting Pajama Cast Party shows coming up. Andrea Martin, the 1-year anniversary of Pajama Cast Party, which I keep talking about, but unlike Jim being able to give little hints, I can't, because Jim is going to be 100% surprised, and I need to keep it that way. So you'll just have to wait and see and subscribe.
Fingers crossed for share. Fingers crossed for share.
Look, if it's, I don't know if I can get share. If it's like my boyfriend Kevin in a wig, like, is that enough? No. Okay, no. Never mind.
Share.
Okay, sorry, Kevin.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay.
My next guest. I'm so excited about my next guest. He's been seen on a Netflix show called Bonding. He's headlines clubs, colleges, flatbed trucks, and his comedy special, Shelf Life, is now available on Amazon Prime. I watched it today. It is brilliant. It's beautifully produced, and he is hysterically funny. If you're not following him on Twitter, I don't know what the hell you're thinking. Do it now. Welcome, Gianmarco Soresi.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. That
was very Larry King. Hello.
Oh yes, good. Hey, I'll fill in.
You'd pretty much have to at this point. How are you?
I'm good. I had to delete when Larry King got sick. I tweeted, it did well. I said, if he survived the 1918 flu, he can survive this too. And I had to delete that tweet right quick.
Damn. Just some comedy doesn't age well.
Doesn't age well, like Larry King.
Okay, now I know this is a weird question, but looking at your incredible output on Twitter, your Amazon Prime special, it's so good. And you did it during this pandemic. Has the pandemic ended up being like an especially creative time for you?
I mean, it's very hard. It's hard to work on new material. I do a lot of Zoom shows, and it's like the problem with Zoom shows is when a joke doesn't work, I can't tell if it's the Wi-Fi or it's a terrible audience. And so I've just been yelling at Spectrum every morning, like, what's going on?
Of course you have. It's got to be Spectrum. Well, there's so many distractions too when you're doing.
Of course. Well, that's why I was, in the beginning, most New Yorkers, I was like, I was at my apartment for like 5 months in a row, and I kept saying I'm going to get done a pilot, a screenplay, more stand-up, but there's just so many distractions now. Like I've always said, like, if Anne Frank had TikTok, there'd be no diary. The Nazis would have caught her doing like the attic challenge because she forgot to turn off her location.
Wow, I enjoy that thought.
I'm glad. Let me say now, you have. I forget how wicked a sense of humor is allowed on here. We talked before this. We can pull back the curtain a little. We had talked about the Anne Frank joke, and when you brought it up, I thought you were saying, "Please don't tell that joke." Like we have one of the we have someone from the Follies singing tonight who has escaped from Nazi Germany,
or one of the Franks.
Yes, we have the Franks.
the Frank family singers. No, we don't. Talk about performing comedy in essentially a vacuum where there's no audience. There's no, is it a nightmare for your, I mean, I guess I could say I'm doing the same thing, but I'm not relying on
constant feedback. It's very hard to write these jokes because I think one of the reasons I became a stand-up comedian is because I like constant feedback. That's how, if we were to use carving a marble statue, my tool is people's laughter. And so I'm constantly, there's always variation, the different shows, you do shitty shows, But with the Zoom shows, or outside in the park or in the freezing cold, or a drive-in show where they respond by honking, you're just like, your tool is constantly changing, and it's very hard to craft something that's pristine.
Right. So it's not exactly what you had in mind, but you have really gone on to have a lot of output, and I think it's very impressive. Your Twitter feed is hilarious. People follow him. And I did see a little clip of you performing on a flatbed truck.
Yes. Oh my God. There you go. That was the first show back. I hadn't performed stand-up for 3 months, and I opened with, I think I said, oh, I tried going on a Zoom date, but there was no connection. And it got a big collective, oh, and right at that moment, the police broke up the show. So I had that one joke, and it bombed, and then I had to walk home in that shame, and I didn't perform again for 3 more months.
After 3 months of silence, that must have killed. I'm not a comic, but I can imagine how that would just weigh on you.
It's been very rough. But outdoor shows, I've done outdoor shows. Even now, we are fighting through this as much as we can.
Listen, we're doing what we can do, and you know what? You're entertaining people. And I watched your special, and how many people were there? 25 people, socially distanced and stuff.
25 people, socially distanced,
laughing their heads off. You entertained the hell out of them, and now you have this beautiful special that can entertain trillions of people.
That's an ambitious number. Bazillions. Hundreds, maybe. That would be nice.
Dozens of people.
If I could just get a few members of my immediate family to watch it, I think I would be pleased.
They must have been thrilled at your GE commercial.
Sure, because they didn't have to help with my rent anymore.
That was a big deal. Look at that. I love that. I love when the dad puts the big sledgehammer on the coffee table. That must have been a thrilling gig.
It was. I got to do a bunch of live corporate appearances. This was like, I had thought, really? I had, you have moments as a performer where you think you're at a new level.
Yes.
And I was getting flown to Vegas for thousands of dollars, first class, to show up on stage with the hammer. I walk on and go, I can pick it up. And I walk off. And I'm talking to the CEO of General Electric. And one of the best things, I heard a bunch of high up GE employees very pissed off. I heard one of them say, the fucking actor got more time with the CEO than we did. And it was just, what a glorious time in my life.
A glorious time. And that's when you think things are really going to take off. Those moments are like, and here we go. Here we go.
We're spending money. I'm buying shoes. I'm filming projects. I'm like, because my sister, you open the mailbox and all of a sudden you're like, great, all the bills are taken care of. And then one day you open and there's nothing there. It's a tough.
And then there's a global pandemic.
I shouldn't complain. I mean, last year between stand-up comedy and the stimulus checks, I walked away with the cool $1,800.
All right.
It was.
Listen, some people are bragging. Don't brag, really. This is not the place to brag.
I don't know if you saw that stimulus package. There was a special tax break for people who owned racehorses, and I was so pissed off because my horse wants to pursue theater, and
perfect.
He just got casted in Godfather the musical. I'm glad to see he's getting ahead. There you go. That's a little cute musical theater. I have so many musical theater jokes that I really can only do on your shows.
You'll come back on and you'll do them all and stay all night. Sure. Would you just go be funny now without me?
Sure.
You don't need me.
I went to college for musical theater, which means I don't know how to sing Happy Birthday like a human being. It's a very easy degree to get. My only classes were movement and voice, which I dabbled in as a baby, and a class called Math for Actors, which it was like regular math, but with a focus on negative numbers. And, last year in January, things were going great. I made my other than the commercials, I made my regular TV debut on Law and Order SVU. I played Ice-T's waiter, and it was a small part, but it's television. I want to do well. So to prepare for the role, I actually became a waiter for 12 years. I even used to have one of those jobs where between taking people's orders, I'd sing musical theater songs, which some people hate, and it's not what Chipotle is known for. But people tip you more when they know what your dreams are. Like, you would tip more at IHOP if you got to see your waitress have custody of her son. Okay, some of these are going to be a little bit dark. I'm in a bit of a dark space. I went to my first Zoom funeral last week, and it was a lot like this. There were very few laughs, but I'm excited to get the vaccine. I'm so sick of coronavirus. I'm so fucking tired of washing my hands every time I take a shit. I hope you all get it. I understand why people are skeptical, though. You know, like first Pfizer said that their vaccine was 90% effective, and then Moderna said theirs was 94% effective. So Pfizer came back and was like, oops, we recrunched the numbers. Now it's 95% effective. Now Moderna's comes with HBO Max. And then AstraZeneca came out of nowhere and was like, ours is 70% effective. Which would be like if you were deciding between having sex with Beyonce or Halle Berry, and then Liza Minnelli popped out of a dumpster and was like, don't forget about this pussy. I changed it to Liza for this show. I think she would laugh. She's got a good sense of humor. Oh, I don't know, guys. You know, other countries, Europe is taking this much more seriously than we are. I saw Angela Merkel, the chancellor of Germany. She gave this whole speech. She was begging the German citizens. She was like, please stay at home. Please don't travel. She said, please don't kill your grandparents. And I just wish they had felt the same way about mine. I should be upfront with you that I booked my first big in-person gig. I'm going to be performing on one of the first Carnival cruises that comes back next month. It goes from Miami to the Bahamas and then heaven. And the top deck is one of those pools where you can swim to your ventilator. I'm very excited about it. And I need it. I need the money. I've been making most of my money doing corporate gigs. That's comedians. That's how we make most of our money, unless you're famous. Corporate gigs. And I like doing corporate gigs if the company's small enough to not have an HR department, because otherwise I get an email like 2 minutes before the show and they're like, hey, we want to make sure we don't offend anyone, so can you try not telling any jokes? Like, what people don't understand, the only way I could make sure to not offend anyone would be to juggle. And even then I'd be accused of ableism because I'm using my arms, and sexism because I'm juggling balls, and racism because I'm doing it in blackface. Everyone has their thing. It's very scary. You know, normally when I tell a risque joke, like in on stage, I'm like, oh my God, I hope no one is filming this, puts it on the internet. Now that's literally what I'm doing. So, God, I hope, you know, we're all feeling good, still feeling good about the election. I'll say to you, I won't get too political, but my grandma, God rest her soul, she passed away 3 years ago, but she hated Donald Trump, and she would just be so happy to know she voted for Biden. You know, my grandpa, he's still alive, and he turned 97 years old last year, and he told me this incredible story. I guess when he was in first grade, they went on a class field trip to Washington, D.C., and my grandpa in 1929 met then Senator Joe Biden. That's how I knew Biden would win, you know, because older people like Biden because he makes them feel like someday they could grow up to be president. My father, he's a Republican. We fought a lot. I was a big Bernie Sanders fan. And my dad once told me, he said, you know who else was all about universal health care? Adolf Hitler. And I was like, well, not for everybody. I thought I had convinced him. I told my dad, I said, give me one good argument against giving free access to a college education. And he was like, you motherfucker. I really felt the burn. My father, he wants me to quarantine with him. He's in Maryland, but I could have coronavirus and be asymptomatic. I don't want to accidentally kill my father. I want to do it on purpose. I've been fighting a lot with my mom. She does not take the pandemic very seriously. She told me coronavirus only affects old people. So I brought her over to a mirror and tried to explain that just because I don't have children doesn't mean she's not a grandma. You see, I'm worried when you have kids, you look to your kids for cues as to how old you are, and I am not providing those cues. I mean, she couldn't even see the mirror because she's fucking blind. Between her eyes and the arthritis, she should not be driving, cooking dinner, and doing laundry for me. She'd be living with me if I weren't subletting. So I keep begging her. I'm like, could you please wear a mask, you Betty White ass bitch, because I need you to do my taxes. I do have roommates. Luckily, they're out. Who knows? Having roommates during a global pandemic, it feels like I'm in an unfaithful marriage. Like every time he comes home, I'm like, where the fuck have you been? Did you even wear protection? Or are we just a dirty tramp? I'll leave you with this. I think we are moving in the right direction. I hope we're all feeling a little optimistic. And I hope that we can all agree that when life returns to normal, grocery store cashiers should get to board the plane first. It's like, oh, really? You did 2 tours in Afghanistan? I did 5 weeks. Trader Joe's, motherfucker. You have no idea. I get PTSD every time I see a white woman in line. That is my time. What a delight it is to be on the Pajama Cast Party. Are you there? Can you save me? Please. Hello.
I left. Oh, God, you're so funny. Literally laughing out loud in the corner of my bedroom.
I'm so glad.
I think you are so great. I want people to follow you on Twitter, and they should all go to Amazon Prime and see the show by the Theater Life called you a nouveau Woody Allen, but much less creepy. Now that is high praise from Theater Life.
I know. What a great quote. What a great quote.
You're so great. I can't thank you enough for doing this. I hope I get to see you soon live in a real place.
That would be delightful.
Absolutely.
Take care, John.
Thank you. Thank you, Gianmarco.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Enjoyable. Do you know how hard that is? That is, I mean, it's a miracle. When people can talk and do jokes and have no feedback at all. I think that is maybe one of the hardest things in show business. It's not one of the hardest things. I'm sure there are, harder things, but don't forget Venmo, PayPal, Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS. We like to make a nice contribution every week, thanks to you, the viewing public. I have another guest. I'm just looking here to see. Oh, Billy Gilman's watching. Billy Gilman, you sang so great last week. Holy cats. Do we have any questions? Lisa Lambert, Tony winner, Danielle Threet. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Nicholas King. Some talented people watching. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby subscribed. Thank you, Libby. Thank you. This is all good. Thank you. Y'all are so annoying. Okay. Lauren Kinhan. She does it all. She's a successful solo singer. She's one of the most successful vocal groups in history, the New York Voices. She arranges, she teaches, she co-hosts one of the best music/talk shows on the interwebs. And she's here with us tonight, Lauren Kinhan.
Hi. It's so nice to not be in my kitchen. I'm usually broadcasting from my kitchen because that's our little theme, but I'm in my den now.
Your den looks so cozy.
I'm shaking it up.
Where do you live? I don't even know where you live.
I'm out in Hampton Bays on Long Island.
Looks so beautiful.
Thank you. It's an old house from the 1870s, so it's literally falling apart. Like I can only shoot in certain parts of the house because the rest is like, no, it's not literally falling apart, but it's an old house. So it's got character.
But isn't it funny that when, like a year ago, none of us had TV studios in our homes. I was like, what are you talking about? If I would have known, I would have set something up 30 years ago when I moved into this apartment. You set aside a little nook that looks kind of swell. Who knew?
Who knew? And I've never been home this long in 30 years. So I'm now coming up on a year that I've literally been home, and I've traveled, I've driven to Manhattan and back, 90 miles.
Yeah.
And it's been very interesting. And I can't say I don't. It's been nice to settle down.
No, I know. I hate to say that because it sounds like you're not caring about the people who are really in trouble. But there have been, there's some sunshine through the darkness every once in a while, and being able to hang out around home is perhaps one of those things. That being said, can't wait to go somewhere.
Yeah, no question. I am a little Looney Tunes. There are some days where I'm like, okay, I'm in the same warm-up pants or yoga pants. I'm still seated at the piano doing something for vocal gumbo. I haven't stood up. I did make some dinner, I think, for my family. I think I did. And yeah, I don't know. Was it yesterday? Was it tomorrow? I have no idea.
I haven't stood up.
What's happening?
Okay, so as a solo singer, you blur so many boundaries. I have a feeling the playlist on your iPhone is nuts.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, because I did. I grew up just listening to whatever my parents had. So it was Carole King, Joni Mitchell, Ella Fitzgerald, the Brecker Brothers, Stevie Wonder. And we just, you just listen to all that music and you take it in, and that becomes your palette. All of it goes in there. And so I guess when I found that I was going to be a singer and an artist, the next thing was like having every one of my teachers say to me, you're going to have to choose. What lane are you going to be in? And I was like, I'm not choosing. I like it all. I'm going to figure out how to do the things that I like authentically. And and I've kind of done that forever, for better or for worse. I mean, there's a good reason to stay in a lane because people can figure you out a little bit better and quicker. But I love writing and composing, and the singer-songwriter narrative is a real, heart-wrenching thing that I like to do. But I love singing jazz and,
I know you do. Well, your three solo albums, after those three solo albums, you created a much more traditional jazz album inspired by Nancy Wilson,
right,
which is so gorgeous. It's called A Sleepin' Bee. It is, oh, look at it. It's really extraordinary. On your own label, I might say, with Andy Ezrin and all kinds of brilliant musicians.
Yeah.
Tell me about that project.
Well, I think after 3 records of all original music, I just thought to myself, I want to check this off the bucket list of like doing an album of standards, and I think like most of us, whether you're in the musical theater world or the jazz world or any world, you have to wait when you think you have something to say to the book of standards. And I don't know, it took a long time to want to do that. And then I had to figure out, again, an inroad, like what would really get all my, my heart chakra just going like ba-boom, ba-boom. And I thought, well, I can't do Ella because everybody's done Ella. And I had the whole list of like, here are the women that really made me crazy. But then I remembered Nancy Wilson and that record that I sat on my living room floor with it on my lap, staring at her in her beautiful yellow dress. And
the Cannonball Adderley.
Yeah. The Cannonball Adderley, Nancy Wilson record. And I just wanted to crawl inside the album. I was just dreaming about what it would be like. So that felt like, well, wow, how can I tell that story? I don't sound like Nancy, but I have fallen in love with so much of the music that she sung. Let me figure out if I can have a different point of view while still really celebrating her.
That's the point, is to find your point of view.
Right. Well, and not get bopped on the head by whoever wants to say, well, that was, you really have to figure out how to do it in the right way. And I just had so much fun collaborating with Andy Ezrin. Honestly, he's one of the most.
He's no fun at all.
Yeah, hysterically funny, and then wildly gifted. Right. So I'd walk up to his studio and I'd be like, okay, this is the bass line I'm hearing. And this is what I think needs to happen here. And, you know, and we just have to make sense of the madness, but we had so much fun doing it.
It's so good. Now you've been with this brilliant vocal quartet called New York Voices for how many years?
I am on my 28th year.
Holy Toledo.
And the group's been together for 33. And yeah, you know, I joined this group because Peter and I were composers doing our gigs at the bitter end, you know, in the East Village. And we shared the same guitar player, Mark Schulman, who's a really fabulous guitar player. And he said, you two need to meet because you are two peas in the pod. You are not playing by anybody's rules except like whatever's going on with your heads. And we got together one afternoon and he said, you know, we're holding auditions for New York Voices. Do you want to audition? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, that wasn't really what I was thinking I was going to be doing. I thought I was going to be like a little solo singer, you know, a little singer-songwriter. And then I got the music and I went, damn, I better get this gig.
I mean, I think that's one reason why the group has been so wildly successful is everybody seems to have their own, everybody has a solo career.
Yeah.
And you guys come together and make this vocal magic. But it seems like everybody kind of goes off and fulfills their own dreams and other projects and stuff. So that has to be a very healthy way because I was with a vocal trio for many, many years and all we had was that thing. And it's annoying. It's very hard.
It's a lot. And we figured it out, you know, when we were younger, you know, it was kind of like it was the gig, you know, and that was the priority. And so we learned how to venture outside of the group and have the group not feel threatened that it would end the group. And what we learned actually is it made the group healthier. And more often than not, they cross-pollinated one another. So right. I did, you know, when Phil Ramone produced my first record, you know, we met Elliot Shiner. And Elliot, as I was finishing my debut record, he's like, what's New York Voices doing? I want to produce your big band record. When are we doing that? And then we did Sing, Sing, Sing with him. You know, right. So the thing that you think threatens it may very well be we all sort of supported and benefited from when
and everything informs everything.
Yeah.
Well, you're really, I mean, for real, you're one of the most creative humans I've met. You teach vocalese, which is like a miracle to me. That I don't get that. What keeps you so engaged? I know we're going to talk about vocal gumbo.
Yeah.
Don't think we're not.
Sure.
But what keeps your mind so engaged, especially now?
Right. Well, right. So you learn things about yourself in moments like this that we're living through. Like we are living through a pandemic. Like we are, you know, I'm essentially not working, you know, except for a couple little jobs here and there. And so, man, you have to really look at who you are, what else you can offer. And the one thing that's always been really true for me, and I think most artists will say this, is, you know, creating is like oxygen. And I just have to have it. I have to have it every day. And I need to make things. I need to play with words. I need to mash them up with rhythms. I need to make things. And after I finish making something, whether it's a song or an arrangement, or the endorphins are alive, and I go, "Woo, okay, I can get through another day." You know,
everybody needs to hear this because I do have some friends that are locked. They're like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how anybody is moving out of their bed. I've been in my bed for a year. Right. Get out of bed. just do something. Just start moving. And
moving.
hearing stories like yours is very, very informative to me and exciting to hear. Your collaboration with Janice Siegel.
She is my queen.
She's my queen of the Manhattan Transfer. P.S. Another real good vocal group.
I know.
They're very good.
I know.
They should do well.
They're okay. They're hanging in there.
You guys together on is it a podcast? It's more than a podcast. It's a video escapade. It's music. It's
I don't know how I got so lucky to find her in my life. I don't understand that, but I do feel that we are akin. We share a mutual passion for making music, flying by the seat of our pants. We don't give a shit if we make a mistake,
Yes.
but at the same time, we have a high bar, high expectation for ourselves. So we became friends over the years. She asked me to join her group Jalala, which was a thrill to work with her, and Laurel Massey. I'm like, how am I getting into this gig? And then when we started with Vocal Mania and producing that show, when we all went out to clubs, we also found that we shared a passion for celebrating singers, the big umbrella of singers, and all the diversity of what that means. And that became another passion for supporting other people and thinking of others, and ways to introduce people to the world. So
I saw someone when you came to the Birdland Theater. That's when I started to be able to see them. Extraordinary nights. Just singers I'd never heard, in 100 years I wouldn't have come in contact with, and just such a great variety. And then you guys would put these arrangements together, and then you decided to do it online for everybody during this time with this incredible show, Vocal Gumbo.
And we had no idea, Jim. I hadn't even set up my recording studio. I had this microphone that's here in front of me that you can't see, but it was still in a box.
Right.
I had no idea really how to use GarageBand.
Well, you didn't have to. You had studios and you had theaters and
But I'm kind of geeky that way. I love it. I love it more than anything. And so it is a little bit like the other super nerdy person in me is happy to be in a little studio making songs and doing stuff like that. So anyway, we're having fun. We're learning. And we are, really grateful again to have something to be doing and continuing to support our musicians out there and artists out there with little honorariums and making donations like you do to things that
it's a nice feeling to be able to do that. You're celebrating Birdland, which we all love a lot, February 26th and 27th hello.
There it is. And you know
Look
what? Newsflash, we're only doing one show actually on the 27th because one of the things as we've been learning, look at that lineup. We've got Veronica Swift and Emmett Cohen. We've got Karen Allison. We've got Alicia Olatuja. I mean, Queens of Voice and Ann Hampton Calloway. Give me a break. Darius DeHaas, Homero Lobambo. And I don't know if you know Jim and Billy. Have you?
No, they look familiar.
Have you heard of them?
No.
And Joey Bianco, who's down at the University of Miami, so good. And then these other little groups, Manhattan Transfer and New York Voice is doing a little joint piece.
I mean,
what?
You couldn't get anybody good.
Couldn't get anybody good. I know. Yeah. I know. Like you, it's an embarrassment of riches. And the stuff that's coming in, the performances are good. They're so good.
I can't wait.
But on the 27th, it's an on-demand thing. So now what's great is like if 8:00 Eastern Standard Time is inconvenient for you, buy your ticket and you have, a 24-hour window to, to watch it at your leisure. And so
we'll keep talking about it on this show. That's for sure. Would you sing for us?
I will.
Just enough of all this.
I will sing. And I'm actually, it's so funny how strange this week is. Will Friedwald, Will, of course. He does his clip joints. And this week he's celebrating Nancy Wilson on Thursday night. And I'm going to go and talk about Nancy Wilson. And so it seems sort of apropos that I do a Nancy Wilson piece for us right now, written by George Shearing. And this has some vocalese, Jim.
Oh, I'm getting my pencil.
I wrote the vocalese because I had to write into the piece a little bit. It's called "Let's Live Again," and we really do need to feel the joy and the lightness in our step, don't we?
We do, and we do,
and we will. I hope this works. Nope, not yet. Hold on. Just hold the phone for just 1 second, because what happened is my little speaker turned on and off. There it is, not connected. Hold the phone, everybody. There it is, queued up. Relax.
The phone.
Everything's good. Here it comes.
I was holding the phone.
Here we go. When I looked at you, a dream came true, and suddenly right then, moonbeams were shimmering so bright. You were holding me so tight. Won't you give again? Let's live again. Oh, stars are in the sky and fill my eyes, and I had to count 10. I sailed away up to the moonlight and gazed a balloon. When you're giving, I'm living again. I'm telling you true, I'm living for you. I got a bad and glad it had to be. Well, I'm in a spin, you got the engine sign on me. Seize me and squeeze me. Oh, it's a lovely world. My heart's unfurled, the same as it was then. I'm flying frantically above, so romantically in love. When you're giving, I'm living again. And stop shouting out loud about it. Oh, hear me when I say I'm coming for you tonight. Living it up when you're downtown, browsing about, checking you out. There's not a single person here who dare to give a cautionary tale to someone in love like this. Oh, the time that it takes to find the one you want is the time that it takes the other guy to love him and leave him for good. Well. But why does all this talk? Well, sentimental fool. And I was alone in this world until you came along. Oh, nothing could be finer than to be in Caroline. Oh, look at me, can't you see that I've chosen the China? Oh, a finer tale was never told. A suffragette, a pot of gold. I'm living proof that happy endings lend themselves to those who live again. Let the world in again. That's right, I'm living again. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is Sean Fitzpatrick on the piano. Somewhere. I'm telling you true, I'm living for you. I got a bad and glad it had to be. Well, I'm in a spin, you got the engine sign on me. Well, oh, seize me, oh, come on and please me. Oh, it's a lovely world. My heart's unfurled, the same as it was then. I'm flying frantically above, so romantically in love. Won't you give again? Let's live again. Won't you give again? Let's live again.
was great.
That was fun. I haven't even sung live and done anything like that in so long. It just feels like, wow.
Oh my gosh, you sound so beautiful.
Weird. Thank
What
you.
a great song. That's not a song I know, but I know it now.
Isn't it a good one? And it swings so hard.
Yes, as do I. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm
You're the swinger?
That's what I am. My God, you sound great. I'm so excited. Look, Jane Monheit, obsessed.
Jane, she's my girl.
She's
and
good.
Nicholas, I saw he was here too. I met him this past summer. Hi, Nicholas.
He said your New York Voices is the first concert he ever saw when he was 3.
Hello. That's all right.
That's annoying. I mean, who needs to hear that?
He sings. He sings.
No, he sings.
So
we have a very talented audience.
I can see that. I see everybody chirping in, and it's quite a prestigious,
it's a star-studded
I know
group. I love that you joined us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you
for all that you do, Jim, and keeping us all, vital and alive, and have something to get up and go to and put some shoes on. And I just have to tell you, I bought my mug while I was on the show. I'm like, I'm going to get one of those pajamas.
You got a mug?
Yeah.
And you're wearing shoes?
Well, not anymore.
I was going to say, wow, talk about unnecessary. I haven't worn pants for a year and a half.
I know.
Thank you. And I can't wait for the 27th with Vocal Gumbo's celebration of Birdland.
And we're going to meet you at Meet the Artists too on the 25th, right? 27th, 25th.
Yes.
And that's going to be cool to talk to you and Gianni and some of the people that work at the venue, so that we can really hear about what it's like, even in the dark space, but to just, the room's not open, but to sort of be in that room and feel the energy and hear some stories.
He's got a million stories, that's for sure. Well, thank you, my friend. We'll see you very soon.
I hope so. Yeah, I know so.
I know so too.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Lauren Kinhan. Oh, you guys, what a very fun show. Do want to thank Avery, Gianmarco, Zach, and Lauren for joining us. This is not, people don't have to do this. They do it because they want to be heard. They want to show off a little bit. They want the togetherness of this, but they do it because they're generous, and they give their time and their many talents. So it's really a great gift to be able to host something with so many talented people. Again, Venmo, PayPal, donate something. It can be $5. It can be $1 million. Actually, $1 million would be really good. That would make me happy. Maybe we'd take next week off. And be sure to watch Virtual Halston this Friday with our guests Megan Hilty and Brian Gallagher, like the cutest married couple in the world. And the following Wednesday, when our guest will be the famed opera singer Nathan Lane. It's going to be so much fun. Ruby, do we have anything else to discuss?
Oh, Jim, I don't know.
We have to talk about next Monday, of course.
Yes, next Monday is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
As for me, I had a great time. I'm sitting on the floor because my computer is charging, and I still have no couch. Everybody was so talented. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of both of our hearts for the extremely generous tips and donations that continue to come in every single week. We are so thankful. So just want to say that and make sure that, everybody who watches and who donates truly feels appreciated, because it means the world to us.
It's true. Next week is going to be killer. Monday night, Broadway power couple Robin Herder and Clyde Alves. Singer Randy Taylor. From London, my friend Michael Mather. Crooner Nick Ziobro. and Broadway's Brandy Siobhan Massey. Oh my gosh, so good. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait. I truly live for these. Billy, did you enjoy it? Thanks, Billy. You have to come back on and sing a country song. Come sing a country song. Because that's how country people sing. I know what I want to say. Ruby's mother, Victoria Shaw, produces a guy named Cooper Allen, and his song shot to #1 on iTunes this week. And Ruby, what's the name of the song? I have it. I bought it.
It is called not the good one.
Tough Ones.
Oh my, Tough Ones. Yes.
Tough Ones. Yes. Oh, it's so good. He is fantastic.
I'm so sorry, Mom, if you're watching. I was not aware we were going to be talking about this.
No, it just hit me that we should talk about that because we need to have Cooper back on.
Yes, we do.
He's funny and charming and then sings like nobody's business.
And then
what does
he
that
looks
mean?
like that, and it's like...
I know, and then he looks like that. A little depressed. Anyway.
I like the way you said country song, though.
Country song. I don't know why I'm Carol Channing all of a sudden. Let's say goodbye together. Should we?
Okay.
Thank you all for watching. Good night. Thanks for watching Pajama Cast Party. To follow us on YouTube, just hit subscribe. Click on that little bell and we'll keep you updated on future shows. You can also follow us on Instagram at Jim Caruso's Cast Party. The end.